Well, here I am, back on that towpath by the canal at Milton Keynes, and you remember the picture, I hope. Well, I'm going to put in some colour now and show you that doing reflection in the water of the canal. So we'll start off with a piece of colour. I say colour and immediately start to use grey. Well, you know what I mean. The big bridge has got a lot of grey in it. We just put it around there. But also, we need a bit of warm colour on that bridge too, because it has it. It's a sort of ochre colour. In different lights, it looks different. That's been happening all the time. So there you are. So that's fine. That's enough of that. The other interesting thing is, as you put this colour over the black that is there, it merges and gives you a dark colour, but it isn't black. Nice tip, that. Now what? The trees. Well, I've got innumerable greens for this, but we'll start with this one, which is a very willowy colour. And that can go on all the trees to start with. And of course, because the light being what it is, it's always lighter at the top. This, in fact, goes over the bridge, get rid, you see, of those black lines there. That is much better. And then this one, the lightest one, is perfect for that tree there, the willow. The chalk actually takes that black and forces it down with it so that we get just the right dark green colour that we want. And that, too, is spilling over the side, back to a much darker green and a brighter one here, just so that we get a difference in the colour. Looks rather revolting at the moment, not the right green at all. Looks like a peppermint tree. So we'll put that right. Leave bits, cover bits. Now, the area just in front of me is very, very light. So I want a real yellowy, really light sort of straw-coloured thing. We'll get that all in down there. So that's what we want to get over that. Where do we go from there? Reflections, right. Well, I've got to use green for this because most of the water has green reflections. Water isn't any colour at all, so what we've got to do is to bring the same colour that we see in the picture into the water, because it reflects the colour. Now, it's very important, you probably realise, that there's no real detail in the picture that I'm doing here. Enough for us to know what it is. It certainly isn't an abstract. I mean, we can tell it's a bridge. But the less detail you put in, the more wide areas of form and colour. I'm just smoothing that with my finger there. You remember there were artists called the Impressionists. Well, that's exactly what they were doing in their painting. And I'm doing with this. It's giving you an impression of what this bridge and the trees and everything looks like here. And I think to finish up, we'll just have a few of those grasses that are poking up into the water there, just to break that shape there, here and there. Well, there you are, a bit rough and ready, but it is the rough and ready ones that are really honest and come off quite well sometimes. Well, I hope I've given you a few tips. See what you can do.
OK, Tony, I'll feed the cable through the wall if you can reach it the other side.
Yes, righto.
Can you reach it yet?
No, nothing coming through yet.
I'll try again. See if you can reach a bit further in. Any luck?
This is as far as I can get. Ow!
Oh, is everything all right, Tony?
No. Even the cheese has gone.
Have you ever played those tricks with hand shadows where you use a torch or a light and you make all sorts of spooky shapes on the wall? Well, the Chinese were in fact fascinated by these hand shadows, and they went on to make sort of shadow theatres, which were basically screens covered in some sort of tissue paper. Then they cut out characters and then they shone a light from behind. And in fact, the Victorians caught on to this idea. They made little kits for children to buy from toy shops. And I don't know if you can actually get these kits now, but I've been making my own shadow theatre. And to start off with, you need to set the scene. And I thought a very spooky scene would work well for this. So you need your cardboard, and if I stand this up, you'll see, look at this. I'll come round to the other side, and you'll see that I've covered the walls to make it look like a sort of haunted castle. I've covered the walls in this paper, which is actually doll's house paper, but it's just perfect because you can cover a whole area very quickly. And for the arch shape here, I've also made that out of cardboard and covered that in a stony coloured paper. But the main thing is that you need to make a hole like this right in the middle. And once you've done that, the next thing you want to do, if I turn it round to the side like this, you've actually got to cover this piece here with tissue paper. And you can actually use tracing paper if you haven't got tissue paper, or even greaseproof paper. That would work very well. You want to cover up the holes like this, a bit of tape at the top, just stick that there. And then we've got another piece here, like that, and that will flatten down nicely. I just think one more piece at the bottom would hold that. There we are. And once you've done that bit, you then want to cut out your shapes from black card. And I started off with a tree, a very spooky looking tree with spindly branches, as you can see here. There's the trunk down the one side. And this, if I hold this up, you'll see actually has to appear through the hole on the other side. And that's because the light will shine through here and the tree will then make a spooky shadow. And if I just put that up here and stick that in position, and if I just turn this round, I've got one more thing to do. Come round to the side here. You can actually see at the moment that you can't really see the tree through the tissue paper, but when I put the light on, you'll see it much more clearly. And you just position the steps in here like that. And the next thing you need is a character. And over here, I've cut out a bat, a black bat. And then with a bit of garden wire, I've used this stuff before, you just cut a piece with some wire clippers, there we are. Just bend over one end. And then if I just put this there on the back and a bit of masking tape and just stick the garden wire like that on there, and then you just bend it so that it will straighten out, and then you can wave the bat around behind your scene. And over here behind me I've got an anglepoise lamp, which if I just point at the tissue paper and then shine, there we are, that's the light switched on. But for the best effect, what you want to do is turn all the other lights off in the room. Right, here we go. Now I've got my bat. And in he comes, he's moving in. If you just flap him there, he's making it all... There he is, right up against the window. I'm going to bring him back again. And if you just hold on, just watch this. He's being replaced by something else. Just wait. In he comes. Yes, it's Dracula. And away he goes.